Okay. So Against the Storm is a roguelite city builder. That's how it's the easiest to describe. Right now, the things you see on screen, this is the like a placeholder tutorial for before you start the game. But I'll just get briefly into the chase. You play as someone who is sent by the queen of this land in a land that is plagued by everlasting rain, and you have to take care of your citizens. These are beavers, lizards, and humans. The rain itself has some magical powers, which will switch up the gameplay a bit in some regards during your adventures there. And our main goal with this game was to create a city builder where we've focused on the most exciting feeling of city builders. So the time you start a game, when you first venture into the unknown, you build your first buildings, you plan out your city. This is the most exciting part for us. And we wanted to capture this. We wanted to highlight this in this game, and we thought that matching this with some roguelite elements would be a great idea. The things you see
I
right now on
already
screen,
see that you added too many
I'm
starting
surprised.
bonuses.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
oh, I see. Yes, when I
-6.
tried this game, it went straight into the level. So now I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit surprised. Actually.
the things you see right now
this
is the
something
overworld
new
map.
for you, probably. Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
World map where you choose where you're going to play next. We have different biomes which are different visually, but they also have different conditions, different perks. We have 3 seasons in the game, and depending on the biome, the season's length differs. It is especially important because you can do certain actions during each seasons only. So, for example, you will only be able to harvest crops during clearance, and you cannot do anything during the storm, for example.
Yeah.
So I see some nice comments. Thank you, guys. One of them was like, when the game is going to be released? We plan to release the game this year, so 2021. More specific date will be shared soon, or maybe not that soon, but within a couple weeks, months.
Yeah. So right now you chose a biome. You started the city builder section of the game, and I don't know if you played it before. Before this stream.
I gotta keep up the flame. That's what I know, and lumber is really important as well for that.
Yeah. So best you start with assigning someone to the hearth, and
I don't have
there.
There are 3 species like humans, beavers, and lizards. So yeah, exactly. I didn't take lizards actually.
You start off with each of the species, but you can get more of them during the game or before the game.
I have lizards. That's nice.
Yes, you have. You have some lizards right now. You're playing right now a bit of an older version of the game, and the newer build we have some additional perks for depending on which race you assign to a building. For instance, lizards feel very well in the warmth, so they really like the hearth and working there. And the thing you collect on right now is the drafting mechanic we have in the game. This is something probably that the viewers who were interested in the game before didn't see earlier, and that is a mechanic where you don't start with all the buildings in the game. You start with a set of essential buildings, and then you broaden your roster with different blueprints we give you during the gameplay for achievements or for reputation points, so to say.
There was one comment that Telhurin, who is a main programmer, and that he's putting a lot of pressure on us to release the game this year. It's true. I wish you asked if we need some help, blink twice. I would blink twice. Yes.
I would blink even harder. Yeah.
So sounds like you've been working heavily on this game lately.
I'm just kidding. Actually, it's quite a good year for us because the company was officially set up March this year. So we all started working full time on the game. I joined the company a little bit later, but finally it's no longer an after hours project, but we can fully commit to it, and so it should all accelerate in the next couple of weeks. So you should see more content coming, more gameplays and live streams like this.
Okay.
Oh, we got a big comment right here.
Yep. Yeah, we're from Poland. Exactly.
Yeah, we're Polish developers. We run on not exactly on
vodka and pierogi. This is our fuel. So you fuel your hearth in the game with wood, and you fuel Polish workers with vodka. And, okay, that's. I went really far off topic. I'm not trying to be mean here. Anyway, so what you can see here is your settlement, and as Aaron said, it is inhabited by sentient beavers, lizards, and humans. And their main goal actually is to survive the recurring storms. Or actually, the main goal is to collect 10 reputation points, or whatever number of points you need in this particular playthrough. So you can see reputation and reputation points at the bottom in this panel that has two ends. On the left, you see reputation points, right? And on the right, there's something called Queen's Impatience. So you are sent here by the Queen, and her impatience grows with time. And also, if you don't manage your settlement well, the impatience will grow faster. So if it
do I have to be fast in this game, or
right now? No, I mean don't feel rushed.
I can chill. That's good.
There are some aspects of the game that will rush you. For instance, if the food runs out, or if you are out of lumber, that will be a problem. But the game isn't like a sprint. It's the one session takes the city builder session takes around an hour, sometimes even more, closer to 2 hours sometimes. It broadens with the more things you unlock, the more perks you get, and this play session time will just increase with your progress. So don't feel like rushed that the impatience will grow in like 5 minutes and you'll need to end.
Yeah.
But we will still want to keep the gameplay time a bit on the on the lower side, because city builders are like known for you could spend around 10 hours, 20 hours on each city in a city builder. But we wanted to make it a bit shorter to give you the chance, or maybe even force you a bit to try out different settlements, to build more than just one settlement, to try out different builds, because you won't have the same buildings, for instance, each time, and so on.
Yeah, I was just asking, when I tried this game, I died. I lost the game in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's a roguelite game after all, so you will fail sometimes from time to time, but still every play should feel relevant. So you get those meta resource points that you can later spend in this world map layer that you saw previously, where you could select the tile. So each game has so even though if you fail, you will still get something out of this playthrough. So you never feel like you just wasted a couple of hours doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
There's a question about the game actually on the screen.
So the question is, Aaron, can you see it? If yes,
I'm reading it right now.
I think you'll be the right person to answer, because yes, you are right. We slightly changed the resources icons in the top panel, so they are now categorized into things like food, I believe, and fuel, things like that.
Maybe food, fuel, building. Yeah, fuel, food, building resources, and so on. And the question is about, I think, indicating trends, if you're like losing wood, what or gaining. Right now, it's not something we're developing. It's definitely something we will like do in the future. That's something that's probably needed to to give you a better overlook on your city and what's happening there. But right now it's only those icons up on the HUD are categories. If you click them, they'll expand and show you just the things you have.
Where do I need to click? Sorry, I was so focusing a lot.
Okay, so the question or a comment is especially with red and green color, right? So this is a running joke, I'd say, because Aaron,
I'm colorblind. Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah, that's a problem. But I'm keeping touch. I'm fighting for the rights of every colorblind person out there, every gamer.
Totally.
I'm just forcing you guys to change some colors in the game to make it more colorblind friendly.
You guys have really
it's easier for us with Aaron when he tells us, okay, so I cannot see this particular color. And there's a funny story to share. We were recently brainstorming the name of the new biome, the third one, and Aaron internally, Aaron called it a crimson biome, although it didn't look crimson at all. And we're like, okay, let him have it. If he wants to call it crimson, it's crimson. But then we were all reminded, okay, he's colorblind. And then we asked our community to share their ideas. We picked the right one, and we'll share it soon with you. No worries.
Someone asked a question about having two lumber mills. Having two buildings of the same kind in a city is right now is only like gives you more productivity.
I made a mistake.
No, not really. Like
not
happy
really.
little accidents, no mistakes here.
Yeah.
No, that isn't really a mistake. I think you should be careful about the amount of wood you have in the city. So that is one thing. But different buildings have different recipes. But
what should I do next? I'm
lost
here.
Maybe you could pause the game for a moment, because although Aaron tried to trick you into like playing it slowly and not really caring about anything, it actually is quite fast-paced game, I'd say. So you need to keep track of your resources, of the seasons, because in the center of the top panel there is a season indicator, so we know what time of the year it is, and we have a storm coming in like 4 minutes and 54 seconds. So it can be quite devastating for your city, so it's better to prepare. And I think you don't really have food now, and there are some resource nodes located on the map.
Collect these mushrooms, or what are they? Yes, mushrooms.
These are mushrooms. Yeah, you can collect them using a building called the Forager's Camp. It's in the section. Exactly. This one. Try to build it. One thing I would also advise is if you look at your lumber mills, you don't need that many of different resources that are produced there, so you can switch off some recipes. That's one of those systems in the game. I mean the sawmills. You call them lumber mills, but
sorry.
I'm sorry. Click again. There's okay. So you can see here. They're producing planks. New arrivals in your city at the same time. You can pause the game so not to feel rushed. And you can see that you have different recipes. You have you can produce planks, you can produce firewood, and packs. Packs are
now they are producing everything, because
so you can just choose what they should produce. You can give limits to those production values. Right now I think you don't need building materials, the packs of building materials. This will only eat up your wood. Firewood can be useful during the storm, but it's not like crucial. And planks for building, you could set up a limit, for instance, so they will keep up a number of, for instance, 15 or 10 planks at each time. So if they exceed the limit, they won't produce more. And the same in the second lumber mill, so the wood won't. So the wood won't.
There was a
disappear.
question: do we really need 2 lumber mills? I think at this point of the game, maybe the second one is not really that necessary.
I mean,
but in the later game, probably it would make more sense.
And here's something.
Okay, you discovered on the glade something of interest. You can zoom in and press. So
nice.
You can pause the game for a bit, and I will explain that. This on different glades you will see events or reward chests or so on. This is just a small cache, and it has some rewards for you. You can assign like normally your villagers. It will take some crude tools. You have those from the beginning, and you can now choose which reward you want from it. You can keep the goods or send them to the capital. Keeping the goods will give you the goods, basically, and sending them to the capital will make the queen happy, and she will give you a half a reputation point.
She's not that unhappy, I believe.
Yeah,
so I can keep the goods, right?
Yeah, sure. Your forager's camp is built, so you can assign some people there.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Here you can also change the focus of production, so what they're gathering, basically. You only have mushrooms in the area, so it doesn't really matter what you choose. But yeah, you can always like be better safe than sorry and just disable the other.
Okay.
So they won't get distracted by other like stone or something.
Okay, let's see.
There's an interesting question. Or
yeah.
Okay, continue, and then I can jump in with my interesting question.
I just wanted to say one thing that your goal is to gain reputation points. You have like 3 ways of doing this right now in this build. You can you have new buildings. Okay, what you choose?
Crane or vegetables. Okay, let's have this one.
Yeah, nice. Cool. So you have different ways of acquiring those reputation points in a run. You can do the orders. There's this envelope icon above you. I mean, in the right side corner, upper corner. And you have you can deliver one of those objectives. And the other is like keeping your villagers happy. So if they have the their resolve is indicated next to their portraits. If they're really, really happy, they'll generate you more reputation points. And the last one is through exploration and sending goods to the capital. With the farm, I think you built the farm here, right?
It's coming right there.
Yeah, this farm won't work in this area. You need something that is like fertile soil. You haven't discovered fertile soil, I think, right now. It's highlighted. Yet.
Okay, let's see. I have to do this.
Yeah, this is a dangerous event. You should take care of it. Send someone to take care of it, because it lowers your resolve. That's one of the dangers we have in the game.
Okay, so I'm doing something wrong right now?
No. You just discovered a new glade with a dangerous event on it. Don't worry about it. You can just send one person there. They will take care of it.
So just press investigate and they'll take care of it. Okay, and maybe I'll jump in with this question, and that was before we forget about it. Mm-hmm. So there was a question about each game. So are there any modifiers that make each game different? And the answer is yes. That's one of our main goals, to make each playthrough different in some way. Exactly. Thanks for showing us the question. Yeah. So when you're on this world map, you select a hex tile which tells you what are those modifiers. So there are like positive and negative perks. There's information about available resources. There's information about the length of each season of drizzle, clearance, and storm. There are different biomes which differ visually, but also mechanically, because we have, for example, a mushroom biome, the marshlands, and mushroom trees not only give you the wood, but also mushrooms. So those are just some of the examples. I'm sure that Aaron will give you more in a second, but this is one of the core aspects of the game. On our development of this game, to make it as replayable as possible and to provide you with diverse experiences each game.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. First things first, the icons above the field you placed, these only indicate that there are no free builders to build them, so that's nothing to worry about right now. Right now, the more important thing is the storm. You can see on the left, near the villager icons, the portraits of those your villagers. They're losing a bit of resolve. It's not that harsh right now. You should survive, but in case there is, it's going too low, you can click on the hearth and sacrifice some additional goods on the central hearth. You can, for instance, sacrifice a bit of more wood, because I think you have plenty of wood. You could look at your
sacrifice firewood.
You have, I think you only have the normal wood, not the firewood.
Okay.
So the one on the left.
I cannot sacrifice living things.
that is that's an interesting idea. I think I'm tempted to make something like a modifier that will allow you to do this, but just keep it at 1, because they're gonna sacrifice 3 per second. That's a bit harsh.
Okay, yeah.
You can see that when you sacrifice only 1 piece of wood, they're stabilized, I think, on the left, and they'll survive.
Yeah. That's nice.
You built a farm here, and I think you can. Yeah, exactly. You'll have to. I don't know if it's movable. No, it's not movable. So I'm sorry, but you'll have to destroy it and change this.
How do
location.
I destroy this?
It's on the HUD next to the road icon. These are temporary icons. I'm sorry, they look terrible, but there's an torch icon next to the road icon.
Why cannot I see it?
It's the one you hovered over. Just press it.
Big buildings you want to destroy.
Yeah, and you just destroy it. You get your resources back right now, so that's not to worry about.
That's generous.
And now you can build. No. Please, place it a bit closer, because you need to have this white indicator is the area they will farm. So farm fields have to be in this area. You know.
Can I rotate this building, or does it matter?
By pressing R, you can rotate it.
Something like this would be good.
Yeah, right? Sure. That's great.
You nailed it. Okay, so we had 2 questions. First one was about if there's a possibility to send created resources during run for some benefits. Actually, yes. It's a quite fresh system called relations or trade routes. So when you're on this world map, you choose another tile, different tiles for new settlements. You create a settlement, and on the next run, you can trade with this settlement. So you set up a trade route, offer some resources, and get some resources back. So the number of available resources from your trade partner depends on the biome on which the settlement was created.
Oh, I see. Wait a bit, Luke. Please stop the cameras now. You turned off your hearth by mistake. Just press the.
How did I do it?
I don't know how it happened, but this is something we disabled for now in the next build. It was some crazy idea, and we didn't disable it for this build. Just press on your UI with the ancient hearth beneath the sacrifice things. You can press on the black circle.
Oh yeah, I pressed that. I was thinking like I choose what I want to sacrifice here, and then I press this, and that's how it works. But okay.
That's good information for us, because we didn't think about the
I was thinking this is like here. Okay, kind of.
Okay. That makes sense. Not. Okay, but don't worry. They will probably light it in a second,
and everything's fine. That's good.
Yeah, and everything will go back to normal. Okay, sorry, Luke, I interrupted you. I just didn't
don't really remember where I was heading, but there is another question. Can we sacrifice resources at other buildings, like at the ancient hearth? So, Aaron, that's one.
We don't have anything planned right now with this. We had an idea about a system that would allow you to sacrifice additional resources to boost, for instance, the production of different buildings. And I think this is something that will be added during after our initial release. This is something we will just update the game with. because it is something we really want to do. But I think right now we have to focus on some other things in the game. So this will happen, but in the future.
Okay.
Cool. So what else we can tell about the game? I think one of the cool things is that we are only starting, so it's very early in the game. Like those reputation and impatient bars, they are not really filled. So we're very early in the game, but the more advanced the city, the more production chains you can create. And it's also one of the, I'd say, interesting mechanics because some of the buildings have different recipes, and various buildings can even produce the same resources. So even though in each playthrough you will most likely play with different buildings because you choose them as starting bonuses, then you pick them one or the other reputation bonus. So for most of the time you will not have the same blueprints and the same resources you had in the previous run. So every run is a little bit different, and our players were thinking or asking right questions whether we won't break production chains if you don't have a particular building available in this particular playthrough. And the answer is you shouldn't worry about that too much because, as I said, some buildings can produce the same resources as others. So even if you are missing this one particular building that you need for this chain, you can probably find this resource in another building, or you can purchase it from a trader, because we also have traders coming to the city from time to time. So you can bargain and trade some of your resources for another resources, or for perks, or even for more manpower.
And I should build these closer now if I want to chop down trees.
You can move your lumber camp. There is an icon that says move right next to the name. And some buildings can be moved. These are mostly camps. The big buildings that are production buildings, they can't be moved. But the idea is here that a simple camp that is just chopping down wood can be moved. Right now, you're trying to go to a pretty dangerous glade here. So I will be careful with those two trees in front of you, because there's an icon that indicates that it could be dangerous here.
It's okay. I mean, 30 minutes is already full.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so
sure.
we don't have to hurry, but maybe that's the climax of things. So.
Yeah,
I didn't even have to ask any questions. Your followers have just been asking away with
yeah.
There are some new questions, I think.
There was one about benefits of choosing harder tiles over the easier ones. So maybe I'll start and then you follow up.
Yeah, sure.
You gain resource points for each playthrough, and you can spend those resource points at your citadel. It's a meta progression avatar, so even though you you will no longer play on this in this settlement that you built after you finish this run, there is a permanent progression in the game. So you upgrade your citadel, you purchase new buildings that give you a permanent access to new blueprints, perks, things like that. So if you decide to play on a harder tile, on a harder biome, you will get more meta resources for succeeding. So you might want to do this if you want to progress faster. And I think, is there anything that I should add to it, Aaron?
I think one thing you could just add is that some tiles are even more difficult than by default, because there can be different modifiers on them. Not only the biome, but also like some effects, additional effects that generate on them. So if you, for instance, choose a very hard tile that has like 3 different effects around it, you will get like 3 times the rewards for it. But it will be a very hard game. Oh, I see. There's a bug with the danger tooltip just staying on the screen. Cool to know.
Only happy little accidents, right?
Yep.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
wasn't
also another
there
question.
magic rainwater to speed up some buildings? I think you might be referencing the rain collector building, perhaps?
Yeah, there was a system like that in the previous demo we had, that where you could add magic rainwater to buildings to speed up some production. It is right now. It's a controversial change, but we decided to go back and just simplify the recipes. We want to go back to this system of speeding up production with rainwater or with like different kinds of fuel after the initial release. I think there's going to be plenty of time to add something like this and to make it a bit more thought out than it was previously.
And one last question.
Okay. Yeah,
okay. The last one. Will it be possible to return to already finished settlements? Hard one.
Yeah.
For now, we didn't plan it for now. Like, it's not really what we want to do. But maybe Aaron, you will share more like design ideas behind that decision, because I understand it can be a controversial one.
Yeah. Right now we only give you an option to like stay in the settlement you just finished. For instance, you won the game, you amassed like 10 reputation points, and right now you want to stay there, and that's cool. But right now we don't plan on adding like some feature to return to your previous settlements. We wanted to keep it that way to make you want to start new settlements, to build new buildings, because the map will probably lose a bit of its charm after you finish a playthrough, because you don't get new buildings because you don't have any reputation points. But we're still thinking about some new ways we could add to the game. For instance, like an endless mode or something like this that could work with playing longer in the city and returning to it. But that's something we have to discuss more. I don't know if it's going to be something we'll add in the initial release, but this is something that many people have asked for, and I think we'll just we'll be forced to add it someday. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do.
It is quite fast paced.
After all, a lot of things happening here, right?
It's super cool concept. My mind it's just right now like overwhelmed about everything that I just learned.
Because you didn't go for a proper tutorial that should teach you the basic mechanics. So you were like, in the release version, we will want players to learn the game step by step instead of like putting you in the center of the action, like hoping that you will understand what's going on around you. So absolutely no worries about that. As we mentioned earlier, this is not a public build, so it's not something that we wanted to share with players anyway. It's just for us to play and talk a little bit more about that. So absolutely no worries that some things may not be going according to the plan. Yeah, it's totally normal. And honestly, I'm like the worst player of this game. And I tell Hurin, our programmer, the programmer always bothers me for playing the game if he wants to test if something is that's idiot proof. So I'm the idiot trying to test. Yes.
Right now we're working on a new tutorial as we speak. So this is definitely going to change, and we wanted to ease you more into the game than it's right now, because it's chaos basically. If you play the game from the start with all the features enabled, so that's something we have to work on.
Did we get another question just right now?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah.
If you consider the smoldering city, so this meta progression citadel main mode as campaign, will there be a single map mode skirmish where you can set up all the difficulty modifier sliders and type of biome and stuff like that? I don't think it's planned for this initial release. we didn't consider modifiers for the release for now. I guess that's something that the guys keep in the back of their minds for the future updates, but I'm not sure if it will be available day one.
I can just add to this that I think we'll probably do something around after release and an update where we will probably enable something like an endless mode or something like daily challenges. We wanted to take some inspiration from, for instance, Slay the Spire. They did an amazing job with this. But the main bulk of the game is going to be this repeating cycle of you building cities and upgrading your citadel. And this is not really a campaign. It's more of a free-form long play where your goal is to do different things on the map, but not really a story that guides you. But yeah, this skirmish map is something way off in the future that we have to discuss. This endless mode is probably something that could happen earlier, but yeah, that's all we can say for now, I think.
Okay.
The last question about the deck building before starting the run. The short answer is yes. You have limited number of points that you can spend on starting bonuses, including different buildings. So yes, there will be some kind of deck building this way. Yep.
Yeah, and you can upgrade those points in your citadel, for instance. So not 3 points, but you can, for instance, have 6 points in the future when you progress. Yeah, that's the last question, I promise. That's the end.
And then a question from me, actually. So from the viewers who maybe don't know about your game, it seems like a lot of them do, but where can we find it?
So you can find it on Steam, GOG. We have Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Discord. Actually, we covered most of the social media. So whatever you prefer, just go find us there. Type Against the Storm. We should appear. If not, there's also eremitegames.com website with all the links available. So please come join us and join our fantastic community. I will also take this opportunity to thank this fantastic community for coming to the stream, for tricking me into saying some cringy things about Polish. Thank you, guys, but I hope you had fun, and I hope it was quite explanatory and informative.
We got so many questions. That's a really huge positive surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 20 questions or so. Usually it's 5 questions.
Made my job way easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so even though it says you've lost, you still got your rewards, which are those meta resources that you can spend in this citadel, which you will be able to see right now.
Yeah, so your city, if you would have won, then your city would stay on the map. So right now,
I see. So
you could
be full of cities.
Yeah, you could trade with it. You could have different, you could have a neighbor basically.
Yeah.
In the newer build, you also have some opponent factions that arise in this map, but that's a different thing.
Okay.
Expect us to cover it in the next develop. Can we get a deforestation challenge map? So from what I'm aware, it's funny thing that during one of the demos, one of the players cut all the trees on the map, and even us, we were not dedicated enough to do this. So I think we made a promise to make it a achievement or a map, and I think that's feasible. I hope.
Yeah, that's something we should definitely make an achievement with this.
All right, so I think we could wrap it up at this point now that we've completely answered every question.
Cool.
But you have a dedicated fan base, it seems like, which is really good, and I hope the best.
They are the best.
Yeah. So I want to say a big thank you for all the developers who joined and also our sponsors. And Antti, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, it was a great evening here. Lots of good games. I'm happy.
Yeah, very fun.
Okay. So thank you for having us, and thanks everyone for watching. Have a great, fantastic day.
Thank you very much.
Everyone. Bye.
Thank you.